Some of you might share the same narrative as myself, growing up in a country that has an educated system in which you go to school for 5 days a week, sometimes even more, for 8 or 9 months every single year, going through grinding and grueling hours of arithmetic, critical reading, chemistry, science, all of those topics that you learn in school. And you might just even question what the purpose of it all is. And as a kid, I did as well. I did many times. I'd always be questioning why I had to sit in school with my peers and go through chemistry workbooks and practice problems for math and comprehension lists and vocab readings for my English classes. And I didn't really quite understand the whole purpose behind it until recently. It's really funny how some of the most profound ideas can come from just day-to-day casual conversations with other people, because this is where this idea, this root, sprung from. A discussion that I had with a friend just sitting in a coffee shop hours after I finished a couple of my classes for the day. When I was a kid, I grew up in a family that really put a heavy emphasis on learning, and so most of the days of the week I would be sitting at home doing homework, doing worksheets, practicing problems, making sure that I understood the material that was being taught to me day in, day out. And I never really truly understood the purpose behind it. I would always question why I had to do all of these things when other people and other kids were out playing, having fun, enjoying life. I pretty much resented school in its entirety from middle school about until I graduated from high school. And then after that, life became a bit more interesting. I went to college, I met up with some friends, I made new friends, and I really had a blast in my first year. Coming around second year, after having finished an internship and having done a lot of other things such as schoolwork and club activities, I realized how important having an established education background really is. Having gone to college, I met a lot of new people, and amongst those people, there were always a few that struggled in college. And I don't mean struggle as in struggle to get A's and B's and maybe skip a few classes and then get lower grades, but I meant people who really just couldn't grasp the content, just couldn't understand what was being taught in lectures, and really had to struggle in order to get what others considered an easy A or B. And seeing that made me realize that some students just never learn how to learn. They've never gained the ability to absorb new information on their own and use it in their practical lives. A lot of the things that we learn in elementary, middle, and high school are mundane topics, sure. You might never use them ever in your entire life for your job or your career or anything, but they are important cobblestones that build upon the foundations that allow you to learn the things that you actually need for your job or for your business, etc. Having gone through a rigorous education and having been surrounded with kids who also had such a rigorous education, we all took these things for granted. And yes, it isn't necessary to go through all the levels of education in order to achieve this goal. A lot of people do drop out and they do become successful because they understand that the skill that they need in order to succeed is to learn new things as they go along their journey in life. It might not be academics, it might not be some professional path, it could be gaming, it could be commentary. All of those things require skills that you need to build upon. But if you have no background in education, if you have no background and experience in picking up new skills fostered by the education environment around you, then learning that is going to be very difficult. A lot of people compare themselves to high school or college dropouts, proclaiming that they can become the next Bill Gates or become a famous YouTuber, etc. But the reality is that those people have already grasped the ability to take their current skills and take it to the next level. And at least for me personally, I also thought that way when I was younger. Now, having these thoughts isn't exactly bad. There's no right or wrong when it comes to education. And though college is very much overpriced these days, it is a huge milestone and learning step that will enable students to grasp that skill of learning new skills more inherently. And amongst all the things that we learn in college, the most important thing is the ability to pick up a skill and integrate it in with your life. Perhaps in the olden days, maybe a couple hundred years ago, or maybe even 50 to 100 years ago, learning a set curriculum and having that knowledge would set you up for life. You could go to a job, pick up a nice career, and retire nicely. But today in the modern world, it's not so easy. There's a lot of high pace, changing things, and it's hard to keep up even as it is now. The ones who can adapt to their surroundings and pick up the skills necessary to succeed in those changing environments are the ones who will win. Even if you wake up tomorrow after watching this video and remember nothing about everything that I just said, if you can remember this one thing, then you will be set up for success. Never stop learning. Thank you. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this new type of video. If you guys liked it, smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I can't wait to show you guys the next video that I have planned that will be dropping next week. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed again. Thanks for checking out my video, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.